Welcome back, everyone. It has been an exciting football season and playoff so far. Before we get started, I just wanted to do a in memoriam to our 2025 Los Angeles Chargers.
You're gonna really start it out like this?
Close my eyes, only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams, best before my eyes, a curiosity. Oh, Justin Herbert in the wind. All the Chargers are dust in the wind. All right, sorry. I had to do something. I apologize, Chase. It just makes my heart sad to see our 2025 Chargers go down like that. How are you handling it?
I cannot believe that you just did that to me. I cannot believe that you just did that to me. You're just, after all of that, you're gonna do that to me. After everything you did. Everything you did the day of the game, sending me those texts, all the time, I always ask you not to do that. You still do it. Every single time I tell you not to do something, you still do it. Every single time, I'm like, okay, Josh, please don't say anything. Oh, you're just going to say it anyway. And then every single time every single time you just always send like 20,000 texts and memes about the game. I'd never send you anything about your team.
Hey, for the record, everybody, I send Chase a video of encouragement every single week for the Chargers. Am I wrong?
Yes. Because that is not encouragement. That is a troll job. That is you trolling every single time.
We should release a file of just all the videos I've sent you of me singing about the Chargers.
The Brucci, but that's funny. But people would have to. You almost have to put like the Colts guy singing like that, like just one video of him first, so people understand like what you're referencing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can start with that game. I actually don't think it could have gone worse for the Chargers, and that's coming as a Broncos fan that was cheering for the Chargers. It was truly their worst performance of the year offensively in terms of not only as a unit, the way they performed, but Justin Herbert in particular, which is really sad because I think he's actually a quite talented quarterback, all trolling aside. It does kind of suck because I think he is a fantastic quarterback that doesn't have the team surrounding him and just happened to have one bad game. I don't know what they need to do to fix it, but the score. It was such a boring game. The Patriots didn't do anything, and yet they didn't It was just a bad game. Would you agree?
I'll save all of my feelings for my team aside for a little bit here, but I'm just gonna try and talk about the game in general. Because it was definitely the worst of the Wildcard weekend because the Wildcard weekend was so good. And like the first playoff game, it wasn't actually the Rams and the Panthers. It was the Steelers and the Ravens. That was the true technically that wasn't the playoff game, but they were still, whoever lost that game was going to be in the playoffs. Whoever won that game was. And that was a good game as well, if you remember the game right before that, but the game before the Rams and Panthers, and that game was good too, and that game came down to the wire as well. Like I think they maybe had like a 3-point difference here. It ended up being 26-24 because the Ravens kicker missed it.
Yeah.
So that was a really good game to even start off like, okay, here we come. It's Wild Card weekend, and right after that.
That was the last regular season.
That game was really good.
Last regular
and then you had
game.
Like 3 straight bangers. I don't think the 49ers game, I didn't really watch that one as much as I watched the other ones. I think I watched a little bit of the end of that one. I didn't really watch the first half. I was keeping up with it, but I wasn't watching it because I know that the first half kind of looked kind of bad and whatever. But it kind of looked bad. Like they weren't playing super good. The quarterbacks weren't playing super well, and then Christian McCaffrey just kind of won them that game. But the Chargers Patriots game was definitely well. I don't know. Texans and Steelers was pretty bad.
See. I disagree.
Texans and Steelers was pretty bad, but maybe that game was only bad from a Steelers point of view. Like maybe
should we break it down from worst game to best game and start with Texans Steelers? Because I agree, it was way worse than the Chargers game. It was way worse.
It's
in terms of football excitement.
It's tough because. I mean, for me, the Chargers game was way worse than this because it's such a personal stake in it, and I literally this game hurt worse than me going through breakups. Like it made me sick to my stomach.
I get it.
Like I couldn't even watch the first half of the Texans Steelers game because it was like I just couldn't look at it. I couldn't look at football. It was just make me feel ill. And it just made me feel super uncomfortable. Like, even now, I feel sick.
What do you think?
I don't feel good.
Now that you've stepped away from it, now that you've had some time to advance in the grieving stage, what do you think needs to be addressed right now for the Chargers in order to
that's interesting because right before this, I had just watched a presser meeting with Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz, who's our GM, and basically, there's not a lot of fixing that's outside the box of what everybody already knows needs to be fixed, right? Like everybody knows the offensive line has to be better. Everybody knows that, and everybody knows that the offense should be better. But there was a lot of injuries this year, and so it's kind of almost like we weren't truly 100% healthy because everybody brings up the offensive lineman, and that's 100% true. Like Joe Alt made the Pro Bowl, and he maybe played in 5 games. Like he maybe has 5 or 6 games played, and he made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
so that's crazy. Slater is out the whole year, but Najee Harris also popped his Achilles really early on as well. And I think Najee was actually playing pretty well for us. He was looking okay. It was not looking bad. Hampton also got hurt. So you had 2 hurt running backs.
Yeah, he played 2 snaps.
So you had 2 hurt running backs for Najee Harris out for the season. Hampton was out for 5 or 6 games. And then you had 2 members of the offensive line gone. And then you had the craziest, worst offensive line stats of all time. So everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows that has to be addressed. But the thing is that from what I heard from them talk about in the presser and everything, is basically that it's kind of hard to say this is what's going to change and what needs to be addressed because they're already getting a new offensive coordinator. And so it's kind of you can't really start addressing who's going to be in the line, who's who are they going to re-sign, who's going to be the free agency or whatnot, until they get the new offensive coordinator in. And so it's just waiting until that. It's kind of a waiting game because you take action right after this playoff game and just fire the offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, and you fire the offensive lineman coach right away. So that's not a good look. Well, I mean that's a good look for us, but that's that's not a good look for any offensive lineman players who are still there right now. If you want to say something, go ahead.
I don't think they have the well, they went after Harbaugh, but I think as an organization they don't throw the money around. But I think that Mike McDaniels would be, he should do a year of offensive coordinator to get his name back up. And B, I think he'd be really, really exciting with the pieces that the Chargers have, but I don't think that the Chargers management is going to throw the kind of money at him needed to do so. And I also don't think that him and Harbaugh would necessarily get along, but I think that'd be interesting. I think they need to get a new strength and conditioning coach, both them and the 49ers, because this is like 3 straight years that both of those teams have just been plagued with injuries. And I also think that they should consider making a big splash and going after a big offensive playmaker at receiver. It was performance by committee this year for them. They had some good receivers, but no superstar. I'm not saying they should go after A.J. Brown, but an A.J. Brown caliber person is going to be available in the offseason that they should consider maybe moving a defensive piece for, or going after a Pro Bowl offensive lineman to complement Joe Alt. We'll just see. I don't think that it's time to blow up the Chargers by any means. I think that it's still a young core with a great coaching staff. It's just this wasn't the year, and last year wasn't the year, but that doesn't mean that it can't be going forward.
Yeah.
And I think, and then on the Patriots standpoint, they looked good, but they didn't look like the world beaters that everyone, like, that they've been a big question mark all year because of the lackluster of their schedule. They've had a cakewalk, really, but we talked about this, that doesn't matter if you win in the playoffs, but we still don't really know because the Patriots really haven't had to play a super, super challenging schedule. So even though they won this game,
it's because their offense was so bad. Like we're just going to fall on into this game, by the way, but we had 2 turnovers on defense. We had an interception within their 10-yard line where we didn't get any points from. So
I think that happened. I think they had 2 or 3 them and the Steelers game, multiple possessions in the red zone that came away with like
it's a thing where it's also
no points.
The 4th down call was just not good. Like the 4th and you basically have to score here in the red zone, going for the touchdown. The play wasn't that good. It was like a goal line rollout, and then he just threw it to Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen didn't even try jumping for it, and he just watched it go over his head. And then it was weird, man.
Yeah, I will say
he had drops. He had Keenan Allen had 2 or 3 big drops that were kind of pretty bad. I will say that the Patriots secondary was pretty good, and Patriots secondary was pretty good, but their offense, the Patriots offense, reminds me of our offense from last year, where it's almost like a lot of their offensive players kind of just need one more full year to be super good. Right? They're solid now, but they kind of need one more year to be super solid, and to be a little bit field tested. They still feel like this playoff run they're earning their stripes for sure. But their defense was pretty good, and our defense was really good. It just makes me really sad. It makes me really sad and shameful almost that how good our defense is and how many good players we have on defense, and the turnovers and everything, where it's just almost you just have to be well, sorry guys, we couldn't. You guys did all this work and we had to repay you with 3 points on the board. So you're welcome. I really hate that. It's a dumb flag. Thank goodness. I really hate that, and I really hate that our defensive coordinator might be gone. He might be a head coach of a different team, because our defensive coordinator is really good. His name is Jesse Minter, and he could be a head coach. Every single team that has a head coach vacancy has interviewed him, and so he might be gone to another team. And I still feel even though you could be the head coach of the Titans or you could be the head coach of the Cardinals, I wouldn't want to go be a head coach of those teams. I would still just rather be a. I mean, he could be the head coach of the
No,
Ravens for
absolutely
all I know
not.
next year, and you would take that for sure. But it's almost like can't he just be a really good defensive coordinator with us for a long time? Like, why are really good offensive coordinators and really good defensive coordinators? What can't they just stay and be really good at their team for a long time? Why do they always have to make the jump towards head coach, like, and just abandon ship?
I th- I think it's actually it's at Indiana in college is a very good example of it actually working, where they're paying their coordinators a lot of money, and they're providing a work-life balance and job security because it's working, and like it's very open that these guys are probably going to stay even though they'd be hot commodities. I think what teams need to do is just honestly pay them more money. Like, uh, I think money talks, especially because my understanding is coach's salary
Interesting.
doesn't impact the salary
Do we have
cap, so it doesn't really
we're
matter.
like third we have like the
Like,
third
just
most
fucking
cap
pay them,
space after this year. Some big
which
yeah.
is it's good.
You
There's going to
say
be
that they need a
some
big
openings.
superstar
I think
receiver,
some
and
free
I kind
agents.
of agree. I more think I kind of think we do have really good receivers. They just kind of need to be uh they just need to actually be used a lot better. They need to be involved a lot better. The thing is that they said that from the presser
Hmm.
that I watched, they want kind of a run first approach. Um, and they like running the ball. Jim Harbaugh said he likes running the ball. He likes a physical offense. Um, uh, and so I don't know if that really is a good sign for like a Mike McDaniel type who I think
Is
he's a
is it
pass guy. He likes the pass. He's
flashy?
flashy for sure. I mean, he has good run schemes for sure. I mean, their Miami's running back has been like the top five running back. He's super good, and I doubt that I doubt that Mike McDaniel's isn't like a run first offense. Why would I ever want to do that?
Right.
But I've heard some whisperings about Brian Dayball, um, which is interesting because he
He's a
was
great
good with the
offensive
Bills.
coordinator.
He was good with the
For
Bills.
dog shit head
Yeah,
coach.
not man. That Giants team is weird. Um, yeah, man. But it was really frustrating too because I've watched all the players' reactions after the playoff loss, and it was like an hour and a half long video, and it's just like you can tell like the defensive players are all just like, yeah, man, we did what we had to do, but we didn't win the game, and that's just how it goes sometimes. Like it's almost like they're saying, we did what we had to do on our side of the ball, like on our defensive side. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, this loss really isn't on us. And then when they were asked about the defensive coordinator Jesse Minter leaving, they all said they basically all said, "Please God, no, please stay." But I understand the business. But please stay. Like they all love him. They all really, really like him, and I just wish it was like I really wish it was like because I'm just kind of repeating what I just said, but I really wish it was like a loyalty thing where he's just gonna be like, I can't abandon all my players. I don't want to abandon all my players that I just coached. I don't, but you can't. It's almost you can't turn down a head coaching job almost if you want to.
Right, and it's a that window is so small
Yeah.
too of the opportunity. If you don't take it now, you might never get another chance. So
Oh, I have one more thing, and then all the offensive players were like a lot more upset with how the game went, and they were a lot more open to being negative as to how they were being used in the offense and how uh, the year went for them. they Ladd McConkey didn't seem happy with how the games were and everything like that. And I think Ladd McConkey is one of my favorite players on the team. He didn't get used enough, I don't think.
I mean, he took a real step back this year, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Maybe teams just started playing him differently, but he had a way less productive year than last year.
Well, last year it was almost like he was our only receiver because Johnston wasn't as good as he was last year, and then Keenan Allen wasn't there. Keenan Allen wasn't there last year, so it was kind of like hey lad, we're gonna force you the ball because you're the only one making plays on offense right now. Please save us. And this game also reminded me of a quote that I heard from last week. Or maybe it was the game before. It was the Texans game. There's a quote from after the Texans game where somebody said, I think it was our former backup quarterback, but he was like, a lot of times, if you watch a Chargers game, it seems like the offensive game plan is, Justin, please save us. It's just like, Justin, please bail us out. Because our offensive scheme sucks. Our offensive line sucks. Hopefully you can run out of the pocket and make a play. It's almost like how Mahomes was this year, where it's like, hey, Mahomes, hopefully Mahomes' magic can save the Chiefs this year, and hopefully he'll just run around and make a play. Yeah, that's how it kind of felt, where it was like, oh, hopefully Herbert can scramble and chuck the ball as hard as he can into this area and hope that the receiver catches it. But this loss hurt me so bad that it was soul-crushing.
Chase didn't...
Devastating.
I thought I was going to have to do a wellness check on him. Chase and I are on and off texting all day, pretty much every day, and I didn't hear from him for 18 hours.
Yeah, well, you were being rude, that's why. You were being a complete asshole. So that's why I didn't respond, because that was it'd be like if your grandma died and then all you were sending your pictures of was how awesome it was to spend time at your grandma's house. It would be oh, my grandma died, and then Josh just sent a bunch of pictures of, man, look at all these cookies my grandma made me. Josh was oh, look at how warm and cozy I am at my grandma's house. Oh, that's awesome.
I think there's a world where you're gonna get your opportunity for retribution this week. Because we'll get to it, but the Broncos, nervous. But anything else on this game? Are you optimistic for the future?
I always am, man. I was after the presser. The thing is that sucks is that it just the seasons the seasons are there's so much time between seasons. And it just feels like...
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the first wild card round of next year is literally a year away. And so it's I don't want to have to wait a whole other year to get back to the playoff round and hope and see if we have what it takes. That is horrible. That's one of the only good things about every other sport that exists is that their seasons aren't as long, or aren't as there's not as much time between seasons. And there's a bunch of different ways you can see.
NASCAR's about to start, baby.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. I don't even know why you brought that trash up. But another weird thing, though, from the presser. We'll move on from this game here, but another weird thing from the presser was that Harbaugh has not spoken to Justin Herbert since the game ended.
Oh,
has it only been 5 days?
Mommy and Daddy are
since
fighting.
The game ended. Jesus. So, yeah, and the thing is too, it's you're watching Herbert get destroyed, and he's hurt on the ground. I honestly think a lot of this game was all of the sacks and his broken hand and everything had just kind of caught up to him. I think all the pain had just kind of caught up to him a little bit. Yeah. And it was horrible to watch. It wasn't even
Yeah.
a fun one to watch. It wasn't even like, oh hey, we guys lost, which totally sucks, but at least it was a total shootout, and just kind of sucks that this is the way the games fell, but it wasn't the worst, loss ever. But this is literally one of the worst losses ever, in my opinion. This is one of the worst playoff losses in recent memory. And we have some pretty fucking bad ones, and like it is so bad because there's no spark, there's no passion,
There's
no
hope.
imagination. I think our best offensive play was a defensive pass interference. And our second best offensive play was when Herbert got strip sacked, and Vidal, our running back, picked up the ball and ran for like 15, 20 yards. And that was our best play. That was our second best offensive play of the night. The offense looked just awful out there. They looked lost at sea. It was probably like the worst case scenario for an offense that you could imagine against a piece of shit Patriots team that looks like all their players are in high school still, and Stephon Diggs for some reason, and
Stephon Diggs is
they
shit. Hope they lose just because of him.
And they yeah, man, they won, and it's horrible. It's a nightmare, and I feel like I'm in a nightmare that I can't wake up from, and it's a horrible foreshadowing evil darkness over the rest of the year. That's like the start of the year started out so horribly for me, and it's like just an evil blanket of suck where.
See, I don't know what would be worse. This game where there was no spark and it was a relatively close game, or the Broncos last year losing by like 33-7 against the Bills, but the Broncos scored like a really long touchdown in their first drive and then just didn't score again. Where it was like, I got hope, and
but this was that was like your first playoff game in a while, right? Or was it? Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't Harbaugh. Yeah, man, there was just so much hope riding on this game, and so much belief in this game, where it was like, yeah, man, there's just so much riding on this game for Charger fans. I know, where it was like so much, man. Like, it just breaks your heart. It just totally breaks your heart.
I think they'll bounce back.
I can't wait to wait another year.
And as much grief as
I can't wait to wait another 12 months to see. I might be dead then. What? Like, what?
See this.
It's so far away. Oh my god.
Well, as a Broncos fan that is not a Chargers hater, I apologize, and I'm sorry for the rough ending, and I think there's brighter days ahead. Moving on to the next game, which in my opinion was a much worse watch, was the Texans versus Steelers. I think if you put the Chargers and how bad they played, I think if you put them against this Texans team, they would have won. Because the Texans tried everything in their power to lose against the Steelers, including, I think, Stroud had an interception and not one, not two, but 5 fumbles. Lost 2 of them, and yet the Steelers could get nothing going. I think they had 2 or 3 red zone drives where they very easily, they had a big defensive play and could not capitalize on it. And thankfully, I think it is finally the end of the Aaron Rodgers era. He's been fun to watch his career. I don't like the guy at all. That's pretty well known, and it has been for years. But I was kind of rooting for him, almost like I was with Tom Brady at the end of his career, just because it's like the old guy. It's kind of cool to see him go out there. But, man, he couldn't do anything. He looked like a complete shell of himself, missing receivers that, were open. and then getting angry at those receivers. I thought going into this game that he would maybe come back and play for a team next year as a stopgap quarterback, but I think he's done. He doesn't look like he has any juice left in the tank. Sad to see Mike Tomlin go, but I'm glad that he went out on his own accord. I think that his career went from a bright head coach to kind of how Kirk Ferentz is. It's just above mediocrity, and that's acceptable for the organization. But I think it was the right time for them to part ways.
Yeah, 100%. I honestly, I think Aaron Rodgers could play maybe one more year. That's like I have 15-20% belief that could happen. I think he's done. But I think he would have come back if Tomlin had come back. I think since Tomlin is gone,
I can see
done.
that. I think they have a very good working relationship. It's kind of one of the reasons that I changed my mind on Rodgers just a little bit this year, just to see how him and Mike Tomlin, because I respect Tomlin quite a bit, how they interacted. But we only have one more of that old guard left now is Matt Stafford, so we'll see what happens with him. Texans didn't really do anything overly impressive. They lost Nico Collins, which is their
offense is not going to look good. Them. Their offense is going to be horrible. They had so many points on defense from this game, and it's almost like C.J. Stroud didn't look good.
A lot of garbage time.
C.J. Stroud did not look good. And he's now going to look any better without Nico Collins. The defense is going to have to score all their points somehow, and it's one of those things where you just go like, well, all right, well, they're done. Like, their defense is super good. They're playing the Patriots, right? They're playing the Patriots, and it's like, I just don't know. Because the Patriots defense is secretly pretty decent, I think, but like the Texans just don't have enough on offense. I bet this Texans Patriots game will look just like the Chargers Patriots game. I think.
Slow scoring affair.
Yeah. And also, I totally guessed that this Chargers Patriots game would be like 6-3 at halftime. Like, I was like, I know that's going to be the score, because like that's how so many Chargers games have gone this year, where we are really good at keeping our opponent under 20 points.
Yeah.
And like we're totally fine with setting for a field goal and shit. But yeah, I mean, that Texans Steelers game was not a good watch. Like that one isn't even a fun, like, well, at least I can, have a beer and watch this or something. Like it was basically non-entertainment. You could basically just watch like a Seinfeld episode instead or something, and just look up the score later. Like there was no reason to watch it. It was just like, okay, the Texans are probably going to win because the Steelers look awful. Okay, they're just running away with it now, and in garbage time because their defense is like just totally stuffing the Steelers right now.
And Rodgers got hit on a couple at the end there where I didn't think he was going to get back up because he got hit so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Now on to the next game. Kind of brush through this so we can get to the predictions, and we have a little fun segment at the end. The next exciting game in terms of ranking was the 49ers and Eagles. San Francisco somehow managed to squeak by, losing yet another offensive piece, losing George Kittle. I think that might be
Achilles injury
there. Yep, I think that's the nail in the coffin for them, even though they won this game. The Eagles are going to be the what-if team of the century because they are absolutely star-studded and have absolutely no chemistry. You have your head coach yelling at your star receiver. You have over a drop in the middle of a game. You have two all-star receivers that don't do a hell of a lot. You have Jalen Hurts, who looks like a world beater about 10% of the time, and the other 90%, you're like, what the hell is going on? And then you have Saquon, who's one of the best running backs of our lifetime, who can just disappear in games. I think that the Eagles are going to blow up in this offseason. They've already fired their offensive coordinator. I see them moving A.J. Brown. And I don't know the haul they're going to get because I think he's a good guy. I don't know. You don't hear any controversy about him, but like he is a typical receiver diva. And I don't know how quickly teams are going to be going after him. Like he's a talent. I don't know if I'd want him on the Broncos just because of how much attention he brings to himself for everything but his performance on the field. It's, his antics and complaining and all of that. So yeah.
Anything
for you to add to
funny.
this game?
Yeah, because the way everyone is talking about this is the biggest key factor in all of this is that this Eagles team, with the same players, basically, mind you, won the Super Bowl last year in dominant fashion.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is that it's almost like it's such a weird. It feels like everybody is saying that the Eagles, it's like, man, they suck and they're terrible. It's like, but, and like, what if? Why can't things work? They did work. They worked a year ago and they won the Super Bowl. In one of the most like no holds bar. We're here to win. We're serious. You have no chance. The Super Bowl games of all time, and it's one of those Super Bowls where the Super Bowl was not good at all because one of the team was so much more dominant. One team was so much more dominant, and it wasn't even a competition. Because this reminds me of an interesting comparison. I think is the even though the market sizes are different, but kind of when the Milwaukee Bucks won their championship. And then, like the year after, they lost in like the first round of the
and they've
finals, I think.
And they've pretty much been a dumpster fire ever since.
Yeah.
Will they? Won't they? Fire the coach. Fire. Trade away Giannis. It's kind of sad to see.
Yeah, it's weird because the Eagles have so much talent, and they just fired their offensive coordinator, Batulo. I honestly do think that it's a weird. It seems like on paper, like everybody should know exactly what to do with this team, right? It's almost just like, hey, you have all these awesome players. Like, hey, why don't we do this play and have it be like a quick throw to Smith, and then we have this post route with AJ Brown, and have all this crazy pitch play to Barkley, and why don't we run halfback power with Barkley? And it just seems like it almost just seems like a Madden team where it just seems like. It should be so easy from anybody looking from the outside to see what type of plays should be ran with the offense. But I don't know what's going on there. I think that their offensive line wasn't as good as last year, but it wasn't. I don't believe it's that big of a step down from last year. And they look horrible. I mean, the Eagles' offense literally is in my rankings for one of the worst games of this whole season. And I think Hurts regressed. Like, I think I would have to look up. It'd be interesting to see how many tush pushes they did this year versus last year and the previous year. Because I swear they haven't been doing as many this year. They didn't do as many this year, and I don't know if it's a weird we don't get down to the end zone anyway to even have the chance to do that, or if it's a weird we're trying to prove our haters wrong by not doing it, and then by not doing it, they suck. It's a weird, I don't know. It's a weird catch-22. I don't get the Eagles team. I'm glad that they lost though. I don't like the I don't like the Philly fans. I don't like the 49ers fans either though.
But if you're talking about the Eagles fans, you should go watch. There was a viral video of I don't know if you saw
When
this.
they were throwing trash at the
I
people
can
walking
send it
by?
to you. No, well, no, there's this little kid that's probably like 10 years old, and he sounds like he's a blue-collar worker of about 30 years, talking about
I didn't see the video. I know the video.
A.J.
I know
Brown,
what video you're
and
talking
Kevin
about.
Patullo they need to just pack their lunch bags, and get the hell out of town.
Yeah.
So
I know that
funny.
video. I didn't see it, but I remember the picture. Like, I've seen the thumbnail. I remember what the kid looks like. But that's so interesting. How can an NFL level offensive coordinator not know what to do? I think some of it is Hurts hasn't been playing as good as he was last year. Like, I don't think his passing was that good this year. And he kind of was like a Dallas Goedert merchant a little bit. Dallas Goedert got them some crucial first downs. But you have a pretty good receiving core, so I don't know why you can't seem to get them going.
And we'll talk more about the 49ers as we go into the preview game. Then, in my opinion, the next exciting game was the Bills versus Jags. Super exciting game.
Such a morning Florida.
I think that the Jags...
Like, if you didn't know, if you had to guess what state that was being played in, you could guess it was Florida. Like, that morning light was such a stereotypical Florida morning.
I think that this year and the second half of the season, we have a new team that's going to be a contender for years to come, and that's going to be the Jaguars. I am a pretty big believer in them now. Didn't go their way this weekend. Part of it is you have a generational talent on the Bills that just willed them to victory. And you have your Cam Little on the Jaguars struggled. You know, he missed that field goal at the end of the first half.
He got commentator cursed hard.
And he did. And I think that they're going to bounce back next year. Bills did what they have to do. They were the wild card team. They did lose Gabe Davis, and they lost Jordan Poyer, I think, the starting safety. I think that's his name. And I think they signed Alan Lazard. So it'll be interesting to see going forward.
Bills did?
Super exciting game, back and forth.
The Bills signed
That's
Lazard?
What I had. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, I guess it didn't happen. I remember there was one person that had reported that it was happening, but I know that he did get released per his request. People had thought that he was going to sign with the Steelers, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, the Jaguars could have won that game. The defense sold them a little bit at the end there. There was that really weird 10-yard tush push. That might be one of the craziest quarterback sneak plays I've ever seen.
Oh my god, that was electric.
Yeah,
that was the Bills, right? That was straight up one of the coolest plays I've ever seen. Like, you talk about a grand slam, you talk inside the park home run, a full court buzzer beater, a 10-yard quarterback sneak for just under a touchdown was the coolest shit ever.
It was like from the
incredible
12-yard line or something. And then they almost got a touchdown from it. Like, it was like 1 yard. It was basically 1 yard away from being a touchdown. And they did a QB sneak.
My one complaint is not even with that, because I thought it was awesome, and I think that they should have let it go, is the inconsistency of calling forward progress and stopping a play versus not. Like, that play easily could have been 100%. Stopped after 2 yards. They just they could have gave him the first down and called it. It was electric. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that it kind of highlights the inconsistencies.
Dude, here's the thing I'm gonna say. There definitely this 1.5 changed the game, and there's a lot more bigger problems. But there were some clear penalties on the Chargers side where they didn't get the calls. Like, they got somebody just clear penalties that didn't get called. And I hate watching it in the booth, and then the people commentating are like, "Oh yeah, that looks like a penalty there. I don't know why they didn't call that." Like, there's so much ref. Even that, I mean, it had no impact on the game. It's just like it's just a thing you notice. I don't get why there's so much ref inconsistency. Yeah, I totally agree with that because they're like, yeah,
It's because they're not.
It's like the tush push thing is like there's always 1 second where you feel like the defense feels like they've stopped them, and they kind of let up a little bit because they think that there's about to be a whistle. Like there's been no whistle yet because there's been no official whistle yet, but they kind of are like, okay, there's about to be a whistle any second now. And there's so many plays like that this year where they're like, oh, they haven't, for some reason they just haven't stopped the play yet, and they take like 10 seconds after the play is done to blow a whistle.
Yeah, I think that the officiating and in particular the enforcement on certain teams versus others is becoming more and more obvious year after year. And it'll just be interesting in like 10 or 15 years, retrospectively looking back with sports gambling, if there's any kind of influence that played into these games. I don't know
are you talking about the basketball players?
If you saw it today,
like the college level basketball players.
Yeah, the college basketball players point shaving, and it's like that shit I guarantee is happening in every major sports league.
Oh, 100%.
On just about every team in every game. Now, whether it's if they're throwing the game, that's up for debate. But I guarantee you that players have it in their back of their mind. I mean, shit, you look at, and this isn't sports related, but Poly Market, for example. You see, like, there's bets on how long a White House press conference is going to last. And let's say it's 44 minutes, and the press secretary is very aware of it. And, like, there was one where she looked up and saw that she was at, like, 43 and a half minutes and darted off the stage. It's like everyone is aware of of betting, and it's interesting, and I think that the impact on sports and society as a whole won't be obvious for a couple more years, but I have a sneaking suspicion.
The only thing is I don't think it's easier to point shave in basketball than it is in football. I think football is a really hard sport to rig from the player's point of view. Because it's kind of like the quarterback really is the only player where it's like they're the only ones who have the opportunity to influence the offense. Do you know what I mean? Like the offensive lineman can, but like there's not going to be a lot of bets saying, "Hey, this player is going to give up this many sacks." Do you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, maybe a kicker could be like, you know what? I'm going to put a ton of money on that I miss my first field goal. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of players that, I don't know, but there's coaches, like, a lot of coaches, like, I can't imagine somebody like Harbaugh getting bought out by gamblers to influence the game. Sean Payton, on the other hand, you know he's writing that Kalshi, that Kalshi gambling site.
Oh, dude,
Sean Payton looked at Kalshi and he said, well, Sean Payton say something sexual during his press conference.
Obscene.
Yes. No, but yeah, it's just a weird, like there's a lot of head coaches where I just couldn't even imagine them, like a lot of playoff caliber coaches where it would almost be offensive if somebody suggested that somebody tried to buy them out. But then it's like it's totally a ref thing after that. It's like wow, no kidding. The refs are making these obvious calls, and the refs are spotting these balls at crazy placements. Did you notice that as well? Like a lot of ball spots were so far off from where they got tackled at, and so far off, and where you're just like, okay, that's not where that's I don't know how
Insane.
you see it that way. And then like the replay shows it, and then they don't listen to the replay sometimes. Like they don't follow the video adjustment. But I think in the NFL it's not as bad as basketball. I think it's probably rampant in basketball, and it always has been. But I don't like how it's another topic altogether. But I don't like how betting has kind of influenced whole other areas outside of sports.
I think it's weird. I think it's the demise of our country, among many other things. But that's for another that's for another day. Fun little side quest we took.
That's true, but I will say again, it's kind of. I mean, the Bills game. Looking forward, Josh Allen is going to be hurt. It looked like he kind of got mildly hurt 2 times in that game. His foot and his knee.
Oh, dude, he's banged up.
He's banged up for sure. And the Jaguars really only lost that game off of like a tipped ball interception at the end, which is really like you can't be like, oh man, like it was just like that's not like. It's kind of like a wet blanket ending. It's just like, damn, really? Like that's how you lose, but it's not like a total soul crushing obliteration. And it's probably because the Jags were like the worst team in that conference last year, and they go to this, and you just kind of lose on like a fluke ball against the Bills of all teams. Like if they won that game, if the Jaguars won, they'd be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I bet it'd be them.
Yeah.
Because they'd probably be like the Super Bowl favorites if they won that game. But they kind of struggled a little bit, and then their defense kind of sold. But I think the Jags got a really good future looking up. I don't know how their players are going to stay. I read somewhere that it's possible ETN could leave in free agency, but we'll see. But that's also sometimes you read that and it's just like they're just trying to generate more money coming in.
Yeah. Negotiate. Yeah. Okay. We'll blow through these last 2 games so that we can do our predictions so that people don't have to listen to 2 hours of podcast, which I'm okay doing. But then there's the Rams-Panthers game. The Panthers are exciting. It's crazy watching Bryce Young. He's so little. And it looks like, it's like, how does he do that? How is he able to? But
it feels so much like, how is this happening? Is this really happening right now?
And
it doesn't feel real.
I don't think they deserve to win the game, but boy, did they make that last part of the game freaking exciting.
I don't think they deserve to win for sure. I agree with you. It did not look like, oh, of course, they might win this thing. No, it's like, no. But I would have loved if they won anyway. I would have loved to have seen the Rams been beat by the Panthers, which they did already. The Panthers beat the Rams in the regular season, but I would have loved to actually see the Panthers beat them in the playoffs. It was amazing.
I tell you this: if the Rams give the Bears that kind of window next week, the Bears are going to win. There's,
the Bears are one of the most exciting NFL teams right now.
Yes, I was pulling for the Rams kind of because Stafford's kind of a cool story because I used to be a big fan of watching him and Megatron just suck. No, be great on the worst team ever. But he got a Super Bowl and Puka Nacua is an idiot. So I'm okay if the Rams lose. I think that the future is bright for the Panthers, and I'm excited because they won the NFC South, so that means the Broncos are going to play in Carolina this next year. So I'm going to go to that game, which is
that's going to be really cool.
I would like to say their future is bright, but honestly, they got into the playoffs with a losing record, so I don't really know.
I think they're going to be the exact same last year. Like, I really don't think that all of a sudden they're really good. Like they were only in the playoffs because the rest of their conference wasn't good, and that's it.
Right. So
Colts. Damn.
I could see them making the playoffs. Yeah, I could see them making the playoffs next year, but we'll see. Okay, Bears versus Packers. This game was okay. Quick story: Lauren's grandmother, who is like an absolute badass and she was a huge Bears fan. So Lauren doesn't have a favorite team, but she's definitely pulling for the Bears this year. In fact, she got her first jersey. Whoa. She got a Bears custom jersey that says Gma T on the back with her grandma's like birth month on it, which is pretty cool. But boy, that like, we need more games like this in the NFL. This is a true rivalry, and it's super cool to see how Gus Johnson at the end is like, fuck the Packers, fuck Matt LaFleur. We're the Bears. Not Gus Johnson.
Ben.
What's the quarterback for the
quarterback for the what?
Gus Johnson's an announcer. Not quarterback, the coach for the Bears. He just like really made it so exciting.
Yeah, man.
That was an amazing game.
That was a great game.
We were
It was crazy that is one of the craziest comeback wins in playoff history. It has to be, besides the Jaguars versus the Chargers 2 years ago. Of course, we're always in there for the wrong reasons. We're always in there on the wrong side of everything. But the thing is that the Chargers and the Jaguars aren't really rivals. But being Packers and the Packers being up 21-3 at half, and then the game ending 27-31, with the Bears scoring 25 points in the fourth quarter, was so crazy. And they've done insane. The Bears in the fourth quarter just, I don't know if they're like hustling the entire game. Are they just hustling the whole game and they're just going like,
and the Broncos
going, oh hey guys, just pretend to suck, and then in the fourth quarter just destroy everybody? Like, is that a strategy that they're using?
Well, it's four. The Broncos do it. It was, and the Chiefs used to do it. It was 4 out of the 6 games this playoff weekend. The winning team was down at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
That's nuts. And the lead changes too. The fourth quarter lead changes are so crazy.
I don't know how anyone can. Yes, he's different. Yes, he's more of this Gen. Would it be I think he's Gen Z or a Zoom or whatever. Caleb Williams. He's a different kind of dude. He's a different cat, but the dude's a baller. Like, his fourth quarter performance, in particular, that fourth down throw where he scrambled, running to the left, and had a open shoulder throw of about 40 yards,
and he dropped it right in the bucket.
Insane.
That saved their
oh my god,
season. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yes, and then after the game, him, Rome Odunze, and Loveland were on the presser or whatever, and they were all wearing cheese grater hats. And Caleb Williams was shredding cheese and like, oh god, I was hyped.
That's amazing.
I'm cheering. They're my NFC team for the year. I'm gonna come out and say it.
More football teams need to do that.
Yep, I agree.
Because
it makes for excitement.
Like, I guess what? Because of that hype and that excitement, they're moving to Indiana. That's what those fans get rewarded with all that. Those Chicago fans get rewarded with all their like loyalty, with a big middle finger from the owners and
the shittiest team
3-hour drive.
Yeah,
but like, you can't leave after that. Are you kidding me? Like, that is amazing. Like, that is just amazing. You know, like, that community built around the Chicago Bears and the Chicago Bears players. Like, when the players are bought into the Chicago area, and when they pick up all the traditions, you know, it's amazing. It just feels right. You know, it just feels right.
Eat your local billionaires, because they're the ones causing this to happen. They already have a perfectly good stadium. They're just money hungry and think that Bears fans are going to want a bigger and better stadium, that they're going to have to drive and stay in shitty hotels and not have anything to do.
They probably do want a better stadium, but they don't want to have to drive to Indiana. Like, nobody is saying nobody would take that deal.
We've talked about this before.
That's why the Bull Stadium has looked so bad for so long.
Yeah. Oh man, the Bull Stadium was horrible. I don't know what the Packers need to do. I think they need a new offensive coordinator. They were 0-5 without Micah Parsons. They need to add a couple pieces on defense, he's obviously going to come back, but it's not good when one player is, it's not basketball. Basketball, you can be super duper competitive with just one player. Football can't be that way. You need more depth.
Also, Jordan Love.
You ready to talk?
Jordan Love, 323 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's another one that's like, this year has been like, is he the guy? Is he the guy? I think he's the guy. Maybe get him better support staff and a better offensive coordinator. And I don't know. It's just, they seem to be underwhelming this year. They were, that whole division was super underwhelming. It was going into the year like, is this a division that all 4 teams could make the playoffs kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then obviously the Lions and Vikings had a shockingly bad season, and the Packers were looking amazing, and really the Broncos game was the beginning of the end for them. All right, on to the divisional round. We'll start with my Broncos and Bills. I hope to God my Broncos win. I think they could, but I'm fully expecting them to lose on Saturday just because I don't want to get my hopes up. The Vegas right now has it sitting as a Denver a favorite of by 1.5, which to me is a push.
Wait, so Broncos are favorited to win by 1.5?
Yes. Which, with home field advantage,
a lot of people buying into. A lot of people buying into the Broncos. Then, I think maybe people just see that the Bills have too many injured players. Maybe, and that they maybe see Josh Allen could get injured, but James Cook has been good. So if they can get running,
James Cook has been good.
They get a good run game going.
That's what I said. I think the Broncos' key to victory is if they can attack the run, basically force them to throw the ball. If they can force the Bills to throw the ball and limit their 2-star tight ends, if we can keep Cook and contain the tight ends and have long sustained drives, which we've been doing pretty well at, I think we'll win. Now, if it becomes a shootout, I think that's the Bills. So if it's the Broncos, just make Josh Allen use his not tight ends and not James Cook. James Cook. And I think that the Broncos will win if that's the case. But for the Bills, I think the Bills just need to make it a shootout. And if it's a shootout, I think the Bills will win. Also, I think that the Bills defense needs to do a lot of tricks and schemes, make Bo overthink, because that's kind of been Bo's kryptonite, in my opinion, is decision making, and that's why you see a lot of delay of games and early timeouts being burned because Bo's taking a long time to process, play call, all of that. I do think that Jordan Poyer, their safety, and Gabe Davis being out, in addition, they have another starting cornerback that has not practiced yet this week. So their secondary could be injured. Broncos are looking very, very healthy. Our star linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, is going to be playing. Really good Sean Payton clip where he gets asked about Dre Greenlaw coming downhill or running downhill and attacking downhill. And Sean Payton being an absolute asshole is like, are you saying that he needs to run downhill? What do you know about running downhill or something like that? It's like, God, you're such a prick, but I love you. So a fun little thing. The last time the Broncos won a playoff game was Super Bowl 50, which was in 2016. Since then, Usain Bolt won the triple. We experienced Tom Brady Deflategate. We experienced the Cavs 3-1 finals comeback Conor McGregor was a double champion in the UFC. Kobe Bryant had his 60-point retirement game. Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, and Dak and Ezekiel Elliott were rookies. Was the last time that the Broncos were in the playoffs. That all was happening.
Wait, that was the last time you were in the playoffs, and not just last time you.
Last time they won a playoff. No. Last time they won a playoff game. We were in the playoffs last year.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Last time we won a playoff game was when all that stuff happened. And in fact, before last year, we were on like the longest, I think the longest or tied for longest playoff drought. I think it's going to be a super exciting game. I don't understand why it's the Saturday afternoon game. I think it is much more exciting than the Texans and Patriots game. I get why the other two games are the slots.
Is it just because of a bye?
I think that the Broncos.
Like, do you think it's just because they had a first round bye, so they can't wait? They don't want to like push them until Sunday. They'd rather have them play earlier.
I really don't know.
Because that's a lot of time.
One more extra day to maximize odds.
Yeah, and it's the Bills.
Yeah. What? So my heart is taking the Broncos, obviously, and if I'm being realistic, the Broncos do have a better roster and have performed better this year, but I can't understate how good Josh Allen is. So I'm still going to pick the Broncos, but I'm being realistic in that the Bills have a very, very good chance of winning.
I think if Josh Allen is in the game, they always have a chance. 100%.
Yep.
And I think to beat the Broncos, they just have to let Bo Nix beat them. Because I think if they kind of let Bo Nix beat them, sometimes Bo Nix doesn't play. Sometimes he's not the best. If they kind of let the game rest on him, sometimes.
Oh, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the Bills, if it's a shootout, we need to. I think that plays into.
Yeah, this is a really big game, and maybe they're gonna try to be like, the Bills defense. It's more like, hey, we gotta try and make sure they don't. Don't be surprised if they try a big run-heavy offense. Because I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Right.
To be fair, I do hope that all the Broncos die in a car crash before they get to the stadium. I hope they die in a plane crash. I hate the Broncos. It's not going to be fun for you if the Broncos lose this game. In a bad fashion.
Oh,
if the Broncos just barely lose this game, I'm going to make fun of you, but it's not going to be as bad as if they get destroyed. Because the thing is, if they get destroyed, it's really going to be really fucking bad for you. Because after what you did to me, it's going to be horrible. But we'll see. I'm curious because I see the Bills winning. I just don't. I'm wondering if it's going to be like if it's going to be like the Packers-Bears game, or if it's going to be more like the Bills-Jaguars game, where it's all of a sudden like they're just touchdown after touchdown, and then somebody just picks up Bo Nix and just carries him for 10 yards on a QB sneak.
I do think the winner of this game is going to make the Super Bowl, pending any serious injuries. I think this is the toughest game in the playoffs for any of the AFC teams. All right, so then we'll move to the other AFC game, which is significantly less exciting to me. Is the Texans at Patriots. If both teams played like they played last week, it is going to be.
This could be an ugly game. This could be one of the worst playoff games.
I like Mike Vrabel. I think it's really cool that he's the Patriots coach. I think if they just play their game, literally, if they just go out there and don't have any turnovers, they're going to win the game. I just think they're a better team, a better run team than the Texans. But the Texans have
The Texans' defense isn't the
CJ
problem.
Stroud
though.
has a little bit more.
If the Patriots plays their normal offense, it's gonna be.
The Texans' defense is good.
I mean, the Patriots' offense has to play really good, but the Texans' offense has to be like pull off a miracle.
But
and I hate the Patriots brand. Like I hate their brand.
I know, and we're saying
I hate the name of the Patriots. I hate the fucking logo. Oh, yeah. I hate their fucking fans.
The font. I hate Robert Kraft. I hate Stephon Diggs. And it's funny because I'm saying that CJ Stroud has the it factor, or sometimes has it, whereas Drake May is literally an MVP candidate. It's just he's been grinding in silence, having a Tim Duncan style year. Yeah, I'm picking the Patriots. I think the Texans have to play their perfect game, and Christian Kirk, a.k.a. Charlie Kirk, if you're Stephen A. Smith, has to have a big game since Nico Collins is out. I think if Nico Collins was playing, it would be a completely different story. But they are, it's going to be a long road for the Pats, and I mean for the Texans. And I think the line, let me see if I can find the line on that game. I would guess that the Patriots are decent favorites.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate both these teams. I really hope the Texans. I don't. The only thing about the Texans, maybe I want them to win, is that I think that it's kind of cool that a team that was made in the '90s can be good. Yeah, like the Texans always seem like that team you played in Madden that was always shit. I just remember the Texans always being rated like 60 something or like early like 70 something.
See, for me it was like I liked, like I was talking about with Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson. I used to like watching the Texans when it was Matt Schwab and Andre Johnson. I thought that was really exciting because like they weren't the best, but they had a really good connection. The line is 3. They're giving it to, or the spread is 3 for the Patriots, and the over-under is 40.5. I could see the under. I could see it being like a 14-10 game. Did you want to give a prediction for the Broncos game? I'm gonna say 26-24 Broncos.
Dang. So you do think it's gonna be like a one-score game?
And for this game, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I do. And for this game, I'm going 2013 Patriots.
That makes sense to me. The only way I see the Texans scoring any points is if they get like a pick 6 or something. I could see the Texans being like 6-21 or something. And I just hate saying that because I don't want to see the fucking Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Like, are you kidding me?
What was this? What was your spread? What did you say for that game?
Like 21-6.
Okay, and what about the Broncos game? What do you think?
I think that this game is going to be like 7-21 or like 7-28.
21-7 for the Bills, I assume?
Maybe 14-21, maybe 14-28 or something.
14-28 Bills. All right. Okay, let's move over to the interesting side where I think there's a lot of talking points. We have San Francisco at Seattle. It just came out about 4 hours ago that Sam Darnold has an oblique injury and he's questionable. And
where did that come from? Like when did he get injured?
Must have been from practice. Yeah, must have been from practice. And Drew Lock took first team reps, which is crazy. I love Drew Lock. Notoriously traded for Russell.
Yeah, part of the Russ trade. Wilson. That's so crazy. I like Drew Lock a lot too. He's kind of like a funny meme quarterback. But if Drew Lock if the Seahawks went all this way and then Sam Darnold just got hurt somehow in practice,
is out in Drew Lock.
Oh my God! But Jesus.
If Sam Darnold plays, they're gonna win by 10 plus points, I think. And if the 49ers don't score a touchdown in their first 2 drives, they're not gonna win the game. Now, if Drew Lock plays, that's a little bit more interesting. Yeah. But Drew Lock has had some decent garbage time play the last couple
100%.
of years when he's played for a variety of teams. I'm going to say Sam Darnold's going to play. They're going to give him that Aaron Rodgers Percocets that he got a few years ago. And they're going to win 33-21.
33?
Yep.
How are they going to get 33?
I don't know. It's what my heart felt. What do you think?
If Sam Darnold plays, I see the Seahawks blowing out the 49ers like 28-10.
I also rip Bob Weir. He was a big 49ers fan, so it'd be cool if they won, but I don't really like the 49ers. I don't like Brock Purdy. I like George Kittle. George Kittle said, and I like Trent Williams. George Kittle wore shoes that were like, "We're all dead," which is cool. But one of the Bosa, he goes to dead shows with the Bosa brothers, and if you know anything about me and the Bosa brothers, I can't stand those fools. So yeah, I just because of that, I want Seattle to win. But I think this has the potential to be a very interesting game because they play each other so often. I don't know what is going to happen. Okay, the last game, the most exciting game in my opinion, is the Rams at Chicago. Like I said, I think Caleb Williams has the possibility that if he wins this game and gets them, to the conference championship or to the Super Bowl, I think he's going to be a superstar. Adds, not to the Mahomes level, but he does have quite a bit of marketability, in my opinion. I think he's going to take that step into superstardom. And I think if the Bears stay within striking distance in the first half, they're going to win the game.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to.
Pending no injuries.
In the fourth quarter, they had 25 points.
I know, but that gets harder and harder.
They can't always do that.
The magic dries up at some point.
They can't always do that. Yeah, it's just. I think honestly, I agree with you 100%. It feels like the Bears though have a little bit of fire underneath of them, and if they are going toe to toe with the Rams for score, and if they even lead them, if they get a touchdown on their first drive, and then they stop the Rams on their first drive, that's really big for the Bears. That's huge. But I have a weird fear that the Rams are going to just be what is everybody talking about here? It's the Bears. And then the Rams are just going to completely embarrass the Bears, no problem. I can see that happening too. Where all of a sudden the Bears are just become the Bears and they just get destroyed out of nowhere. And Caleb Williams doesn't look good.
It would be poetic justice if end of the game, Friday Night Lights style, they run a wide receiver screen and Puka Nacua goes down at the half-yard line and the Bears win, and then everybody mocks Puka Nacua. I think that would be awesome. That guy's a loser. Even though I like Stafford, I would love to see them lose just because I think he's a loser. And then I think it'd be fun to see Stafford go somewhere else for a year. Go to Minnesota.
Dang, you think Stafford wouldn't?
That'd be funny.
You think Stafford would go to a third team?
No, I don't think so. I could honestly see Stafford be one of those guys that leaves and then comes back mid-season.
Calls them up.
The team is in contention. Yeah, I have a lot of friends down here that are big Georgia fans, and they all think he is another Super Bowl away from the Hall of Fame, which I totally disagree with.
You think he's already in?
I think he's already in. If you're gonna talk about if Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls, but if you're talking who I'd rather have as a quarterback, I'd rather have
Stafford.
I'd rather have Stafford, in my opinion. Yeah, for the most part, Eli had that crazy playoff ability, but just the inconsistencies throughout his career. But he was available a lot, didn't get hurt a ton, but I think Stafford's upside was higher. But I don't care. I don't want them to win. I want to see the Bears win. So, and I have a nice Broncos-Bears future, so I want that to happen. What's your prediction on this?
This is a hard one, actually, because you don't know.
I'm saying 34 to 32.
34-32?
And I'm going Bears. I think I could see a missed, I could see some sort of kicking problem in this game for the Rams, making them go for 2 at the end of the game and not getting it.
God, dude, I just have a really weird... I'm going to go 34-17 Rams.
Okay. That's our... Well, so we're split.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay. I just have... Sometimes you get those feelings, and it's just like... I honestly think a game... And I hate saying it, because it's not like I hate the Bears or anything like that. I kind of like the Bears, and I like their, whole situation they got going on. I like their culture. I like their fans. I like that Logan's no longer a Chiefs fan. Logan is a Bears fan all of a sudden. But for some reason, I just see the Rams just getting like 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter or something and the Bears are just all of a sudden going to turn into a wet banana. It's just they're just going to get crushed. I don't know why. I just see that happening where it's like, What happened? Like what? Why did the Bears all of a sudden just look? Why did they turn into trash? Like why for this game did they turn into trash? But I just see that happening where it's just like they just turn into one of the ugliest teams. That's why.
I want to, we obviously want to talk about head coaching vacancies, but I think that the gap between the conference championship and the Super Bowl would be a fun time to talk about that. I think that this offseason is going to be super exciting with the vacancies that are going to be open. So if you want, you can do your little rewards presentation.
All right. I was talking about it when we first started this pod here that I thought it would be an interesting idea to have a little bit of an award ceremony for the NFL season, because I like kind of looking back at the season as a whole and almost being like, dang, I can't believe that really happened. Like, it feels so long ago, but that did happen this year. It's kind of like a fun way to remember what happened, and so there's several awards here lined up. I think maybe we'll do 2, and then maybe we'll do another set of rewards next time, and just see how we feel. But my 2 awards that I have set up so far are the Cornster Award for the most corniest player / corniest action that has taken place in the NFL season. You kind of have there's a lot of corny players, and this award in the future, by the way, might just completely be Fernando Mendoza's to lose. If he joins, once he gets drafted in the NFL, he's going to win the Cornster Award every single year. The dude seems like the biggest cornball of all time. It's hard to imagine that there'd be a cornball bigger than Russ, but there is, it looks like. And so here are my nominees for the 2025 NFL Cornster Award season. First up, we have Russell Wilson and Andy Dalton. They're nominated just for being alive and still in the NFL. Russell Wilson has a slight edge here because he did play those two or three first games for the Giants and made some genuinely abysmal and shocking plays. And I remember I can't remember who the game was against, who they were playing, but that one where he just to win the game, and they were kind of on the 25-yard line, and he threw the ball at the goalpost, and then he just kind of threw the ball out of the stands. Do you remember that? Like, and he just couldn't like he just didn't give any of his receivers a chance to make a play, and he was just throwing the ball completely away every single time. And you're just kind of thinking, why are you doing this? This is the weirdest thing. And Russ always just has the like, he is the Cornster Award, winner of previous seasons, and it's he's always in there for contention no matter what. All right, second nomination we have J.J. McCarthy for introducing the NFL to his alter ego 9. J.J. McCarthy said that whenever he puts on his NFL uniform, his NFL number is 9, that he turns into a character called 9, who is like the ultimate warrior who will win no matter the cost. But it's been hilarious because people always say like, "Oh, that wasn't me, that was 9," and they always have players being like, "Dang, he looked like 9 out there." Like, and whenever J.J. McCarthy was playing as 9, he just didn't look good. And so it's just hilarious that he has this alter ego warrior that sucks. And it's just funny that you can say, like, hey, don't try and be like 9, because 9 isn't that good. I love that fact so much. And the picture is so funny, too, the 9 photo. That's hilarious. I also have Sean Payton nominated for saying in a presser, I don't. What was he referencing? Like a loss or something? But he said you can't. He said you can't spit it out. You have to swallow it.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Sean Payton nominated for saying proper blowjob etiquette. You can't spit it out. You have to swallow it.
References.
We have the Jim Harbaugh Cornster nomination.
Amazing.
For having an open relationship with his quarterback. A slight applause for having the bravery for being in an openly gay relationship with his quarterback. Putting aside the age difference and everything.
A much younger man. That's funny.
And a much younger man. Yeah, he's just in love with him, and he's just letting everybody know about it. He doesn't care about the haters.
And then I have the next 3 nominees, and I'll let Chase finish up the last. I have Tony Romo for the Cornster Award and the Porcelain Microphone Award for the shittiest commentating job I've ever seen. It's bad when you have to come back and say that you were sick and you had to fight through to talk into a microphone. Thank you for your service, Tony Romo. Next, we have...
Yeah, that was bad.
Next, we have my favorite, Bo Nix, who is a notorious dog hater. He's up for the Cornster Award and the Bob Barker Award for hating dogs and probably wanting euthanasia for dogs. Next, we have the Erin Andrews Cornster Award for her skunk jacket that she wore on air, which received a lot of backlash from PETA. So she had to clarify that it was a faux fur jacket. That's a great story. I was watching the game with some friends last weekend, and we're watching. It was like the halftime show or the pregame, and everyone's like, "Good God, her jacket!" And we can't even pay attention to what she says. And then they throw it to the desk, and Michael Strahan's like, "Sorry, Aaron, I don't know anything you just said. I've just been looking at your jacket." So those are my entries into the Cornster Award. And Chase has a very...
All right. And then the last nomination for the Cornster Award is Puka Nacua for going on to a live stream and agreeing to do an anti-Semitic touchdown dance celebration. And then the Rams go on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak after that. The real nomination there is making a complete fool of himself, and also nominating him for wide receiver 1 diva of the year, which could be a whole other award ceremony. We'll have to think about that.
Yeah, that's AJ Brown or Ayuk.
Oh, Ayuk.
For
dude,
me.
That's a
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
So I have my clear pick for the Cornster Award.
I know mine, but
drum roll.
What do you? Okay, we got.
Congratulations to Mr. Unlimited himself, Russell Wilson, for being the corniest player in the NFL and receiving the inaugural Cornster Award. This man exudes corniness. If you looked up in the encyclopedia, in a dictionary, what cornster, cornball, corny, lame, you got a picture of Russell Wilson there, buddy.
You know what? Bravo to
Up
you
until
for being loyal.
he's out of the line.
You're a loyal voter.
Yep. Yep.
You won't turn your back on Russ. That award is his. See, for me, I'm going to go in a different direction here. I am giving the award to J.J. McCarthy for unleashing his alter ego 9. I think 9 was hilarious, and I think it's hilarious that he wasn't good. And I think it's also the pictures that come out as 9 are hilarious because everybody just edits in their own quarterback in that picture and just puts them as 9. Yeah.
When they have a bad game.
He turned into 9 out there. And when your quarterback plays horribly, they turn into 9. Yep. Like, it's so funny. Like, ooh, it's 9 out there. He's giving 9. It's hilarious. I love that.
We're gonna see that meme for the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the Tony Romo Apple turnovers for 15 years.
There might be a Tom Brady Cornster Award nomination in here that we missed somewhere. I can't think of a super corny thing, but I feel like I'm smelling one around there. His Pizza Hut commercial, maybe. Honorable mention.
His Pizza Hut commercial, him slowly like morphing into like having a permanent smile because he's getting so much facial surgery done. Him pulling a Belichick and like being spotted with like 22 and 23-year-olds. He's a cornster through and through. Yeah. I think this is a good place to call it. We can save the next category for next week if you think that's a good.
No, we can do this one now.
Idea.
There's not that many on there, I don't think. Some of them are jokes ones. But we'll think of a different one for next time, I think. But the second award we have to give out is the Worst Game of the Year award. This one is given out to the game that made you turn it off, that made you want to fall asleep after you ate all your food on Sunday, and just made you think, wow, that why did I turn into that? That was awful. And not awful in a way where you go, man, my team got blown out. Why would I want to watch that? But awful in a way where both teams look like they shouldn't even be playing football. The execution is horrendous across the board, and it makes you think that there should be immediate people being fired after the game. Like, somebody should be responsible for this. And I have two big nominations, and funny enough, they both come across the same weekend. Maybe I'll just nominate the Christmas weekend itself as the worst games of the year. I'm just going to give the award to the Christmas weekend. That was a horrendous weekend of football. Totally ruined my Christmas. The NFL gave me coal for Christmas.
We even talked about how the expectations were so high going into that weekend because at the beginning of the year it had the potential to be like an absolute banger and it ended up having next to no consequences on the year, and it was so damn boring. I agree. My nomination would have been the Broncos versus Jets because I was with family and we kind of had a way to get together, and like I was up in Iowa and whatever. And God, it was horrible. It was like, you guys want to turn this off and like go outside or something?
Yeah. Was that like a touchdown and 2 field goal games? Or
yes,
something
dude,
like that?
It was horrible. We almost lost to the Jets. They're playing overseas or something like that, I think.
Oh, yeah. That was the overseas game. I think so for the Christmas, I think the Lions versus Vikings was absolutely the worst.
Yep.
But the Bills versus the Eagles, both of these were the Christmas weekend games. Or they both happened in the Christmas weekend. But the Bills-Eagles game was so bad because it was raining. And so maybe if the weather happened a little bit better, it would have been a better game. But the weather made both teams just look like absolute shit.
Yeah,
and it was just they were just barely could throw the ball. Everybody was slipping all around. And it was like, oh, Bills and Eagles, that might be a good game. No, it's just awful to watch. Lions versus Vikings was so bad though that it was like the Vikings only scored defensive touchdowns. The offense they couldn't get anything going, and the Lions, being as stacked as they are, just looked like the prime 2012 Lions. It was horrendous, and it just made you wish that like, oh, maybe the NFL shouldn't be airing more than twice a week. Like, why would I want to watch more football games if they're just gonna be terrible?
I agree. I think that it's a no-brainer for me that it should be the NFL weekend, Christmas weekend as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst game of the year is the Christmas weekend. The Christmas week games. Those were fucking horrible. The Christmas games. Yeah, those win the worst game of the year awards for sure. Congratulations, Christmas. Christmas gets a new award.
Thanks for sucking.
Worst games. Honorable mention, the Patriots-Chargers game. Really, really bad. Really horrible. Maybe you liked it if you were a Patriots fan, but I don't think it really was not a good game on both sides. Horrible, horrendous, made you throw up in your mouth. The worst playoff game. It might have been a horrible game to end playoff weekend with those games being so good, and then the Chargers game being so bad. And then maybe below that is the Steelers-Texans playoff game as well. Those were the worst. Those were the honorable mentions. But totally, worst game of the year award goes to the Christmas Day games. Congratulations.
Well, Chase, I just once again want to say how fun it is doing this with you, and thanks for letting me continuing on with the podcast despite my antics at the beginning of the podcast. It was unfair, but makes for good podcasting. So, thanks for listening, everyone. We're